Oi, oi!
No, thank you.
Look at that.
Hey!
Let's focus.
Let's call it.
No registration issues, I trust?
No, indeed. And we found ourselves a perfect target.
Fine work.
Stroll.
See? She's convinced. Nothing to worry about. Don't worry about it. I'll prepare a map of the surrounding areas as well. But never mind that. Have you found us a kingly carriage?
Well, I have made some arrangements. How best to put it? The vessel itself is without peer. Supposedly, it will come to us on the day of the opening ceremony.
You don't sound too sure about that.
Oh, no, I'm certain. All I mean to say is, well, you shall soon see for yourself.
Well, under the circumstances, I'll take what we can get. And setting that up in a day. Not so bad having a knight on our side.
You needn't speak so. In truth, I've just resigned from the Knight's Order. Though 'tis only my bond of service I relinquish, not my title. We will shortly be seeking Luis's esteem. Should it come to light that I am a knight in active service, it may jeopardize our efforts.
Still, you didn't hesitate to leave. I can tell you're serious about this.
It was not an abrupt parting. I've come to doubt the Order since returning to find them serving the Santifex and not the Royals. Those who refused the Church's rule were cast out for their defiance. I only hope those fallen knights found useful employ elsewhere.
Sounds like you've been through a lot too.
Well, in any case, we can focus on our bounty contract now. Let's make sure we get some proper rest tonight. Let's rest. Good night.
Can I come in?
You can't sleep?
No, that's not it. You're all leaving tomorrow, right? I'll be cheering for you. So I just... Oh no. I promised Miss Fabian I wouldn't cry.
Oh, it's all right. You don't have to worry.
Papa was trying to stop a bad man, you said. And that's what you're all doing too, isn't it? Please come back home safe. I'll be waiting here as long as it takes.
It's a promise.
All right. Promise? The next time I see you again. Can you tell me more about the outside world?
This one's important.
I never got a chance to say this to Papa. So, thank you. I'll go to bed now.
Captain, may I have a moment?
Good night.
I was hoping for a chance to speak before we set out. Since our meeting, I've done nothing but impose on you. Now, you risk your very life for this cause. 'Tis no easy burden. It pains me to see. When I think of how this may yet save His Highness, I lose sight of all else. Such disregard ill becomes me.
You truly are devoted to him, aren't you?
I suppose I am at that. A guiding oath of 12 years is not easily cast aside. But that book, we met once before, on a carriage bound for the capital. Do you recall?
Now that you mention it, I do.
My apologies. I thought only to minimize casualties, one way or another. So, 'tis a novel envisioning an ideal world. Curious to see a utopian novel these days. I'd thought them long since banned. Ah, you needn't worry. I've no intention of taking it from you. I've sometimes wondered why such books were forbidden. Rumors say the Sanctists objected to their contents. Yet I wonder, how could a simple book have possibly stung them so? Do you mind if I read a passage or two? So, it is a fiction written as if a personal account. This chapter seems to concern the system by which the nation's leader is decided. In this country, one cannot become even a statesman, much less sovereign, without the consent of the people. Those who aspire to statecraft must first solemnly swear before the people what they will do in service of their country. Should they earn title but break their word, they are denounced and stripped of power. Such is the authority of the people. In this way, it is the people who are the land's true king. Quite the opposite of our own country. Now I see why our upper echelons would abolish such texts. Had our lands embraced such accountability, perhaps His Royal Highness would not have suffered such a fate. No. As a knight, 'tis not my place to say. I must clear my head of these fantasies. In the end, clinging to a dream will do me no good. Oh, I suppose 'tis not so bad to dream now and then. It takes power to walk the path of our dearest hopes. Perhaps that is the purpose of this newfound strength. My dearest dream. 'Tis to save His Highness, even at the cost of my life. Nothing more.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Judah!
Lady Juna!
Faraway sky, blue and clear. Echo my wish, so that all may hear. One and all born to this land, as here we stand. Let us greet the rising dawn, hand in hand. Faraway sky. Faraway sky so clear. Let my wish echo far beyond the
Even I'm feeling the heat.
Well, I suppose it's time to fan the flames. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all to the inauguration of the Tournament for the Throne! For the first time, the crown is anyone's to claim, as long as the aspirants can complete 3 grueling challenges.
Wow, a Sanctus Crier! He's perfect for this!
Let's discuss the venues. We kick off in the west, in the Pearl of the Coast, the Principality of Oceania's harbour city capital, Port Brilehaven. There, they face their first challenge, the Exhibition of the Brave. Each contender must bring back the head of a monster, a mark of their prowess and courage. Next, our would-be monarchs head east. Upon the misty peaks, we arrive in the Principality of Montario's beautiful city of faith, Altaberry Heights. And finally, our heroes make their well-deserved return home to Grand Trad. But first, let's do introductions. It's time to meet those risking their lives for the crown. Closest to the throne, I know him, you know him. It's Sanctism's one and only 78th Sanctifex, His Eminence, Forden!
Victory to Sanctifex Forden!
I claim no great ambition, nor any heated calls to action. All I wish is to restore order for our people and to safeguard our land from the threats beyond. This chaos we face is but one of God's many trials. Let us restore our kingdom's glory together!
Moving right along, we come next to His Eminence's champion, the very spear in his hand, the warrior monk captain of the Crown Theocracy, Master Giddo!
I come before you only in loyal service of His Eminence. I relinquish the throne to him gladly. But those who would seize the crown by force, I will teach you to fear God and to fear me!
So much for this being a fair competition. How many horses do the Sanctists have in this race? Still, it's not over by far. The Luis supporters won't take this lying down.
What cowardice, Crier! Where's Count Louise?
All right, settle down. At this time, I can report that Count Luis has not applied to enter the tournament.
What? He's not even entering?
Then what becomes of us? Our entire purpose in this race was to get closer to him.
Don't worry. He's definitely paying attention. He's only in second as it is, so we can't afford to ignore this whole production. Sit tight. I'm sure he'll make a move soon.
All right. For those Count Luis supporters, you might want to meet our next entrant. A rising socialite, a man of ambition, godless and fearless, the brash young warrior serving Count Luis, Gladel, the Black Hound!
Him? So he was one of Luis's men.
The fallen king embraced Sanctism and all its holy tenets, and for what? He was nothing before Lord Luis. Look to the sky all you wish. No god can save you! What our country needs is power!
Well, it's not quite all the contenders, but let's get on with the introductions. The great liberal merchant, it's Roger Ward. By war, by conquest, by right, it's Rudolph Krauss. In it more for the gauntlet runners than the throne, it's Lena Caden. Sure to be popular by pledging free drinks for life, it's Loveless O'Shea. Uplifting the beautiful and deposing the hideous, it's Milo Maurizio.
Wow, if we lose this, I think the country has some even bigger problems.
Now, I do believe we have one final candidate. Do we have an Elden boy present? Come on, let's see a face.
What? An elder? Disgrace!
disgraceful. Is this the only way you could think to distinguish yourself?
By the way, the ride you applied with still hasn't arrived. And if it doesn't show up by the time the noon bell rings, you're disqualified. All right?
Hey! What's going on?
That nitwit! What is he doing?
So, contestants, are you ready?
What? Blast, I say! Wait! Found your behave!
A land runner? It's quick!
Wait, it's headed right for the...
It'll crash!
Whoa!
What the heck is that?
Wonderful. So much for a first impression.
What hell? Isn't he a marvel, chums?
You don't! You nearly brought down the cathedral! Have a care, you fool. It was bad enough when Luis did it the first time. That feckless, shameless old fool.
Not bad, kid. Guess you've got some interesting tricks up your sleeve after all. Right! I'd call that a full roster. Ladies and gentlemen, race across the land. Go! Prove yourself worthy and earn your crown. For the people, for the throne. Let the games begin!
We must take to the road.
Come on, come on! So fast! Gotta hold on to something or I'll get blown up!
It's incredible!
Just a sec.
Can you hear me?
Let's see.
This...
Wow!
Oh.
Spectacular!
This is amazing! I don't know a thing about gauntlet runners, but even I can tell this is a hell of a craft. I can hardly believe she's ours to drive.
You're telling me that? Feels like ages since I've been out on the open road. This girl's been waiting long enough for her time to shine.
So this is what you use to talk with the driver? Convenient, that. Look, old fellow, are you really on our side? You realize we don't have funds to pay you.
Money? Ha! I'm not in this for the money, boy. What I want is a little gusto. What do you think, lad? Isn't this a rush?
It is at that. Like riding the wind.
That's the ticket. It's been so long since I've had a good chinwag.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
You've a good head on your shoulders, boy. Yes, I can tell you're a sharp one. Where to, ladies? The world is our shellfish.
You certainly are a different person behind the wheel.
Hey, Hulkenberg! Can we get an explanation yet?
That man is Neurus. An Ishkia, if 'twas not obvious from the wings. And despite everything, he was heir to a noble house and personal machinist for the royal family.
What?
He's a master engineer, of course, positively peerless. But as you can see, the runners get him a bit excitable. Nioras? Are you there? I'm coming in. Even amidst all this commotion in town, I find you buried in your work.
Too much to do.
As always. To business, then. I must ask a favor. Would you be able to ready a carriage for me?
No new commissions, no time for them. Ask another right.
It is not a new one I require. Before His Highness disappeared, did you not accept a contract to build him a custom carriage? Without a formal owner, I reasoned that it must now lie unused. I was hoping I might borrow it a short while.
But, pish and tosh, woman. She is for royal use and naught else.
'Tis an unreasonable request, I know. But I'd not be asking without a grave need. Might I at least see it?
I mean, well,
'Twas specially made for His Highness, yes? Not a work you'd have sold off. Where lies it now?
I've deadlines to meet, dash it! Off with you now! Leave me be!
You've been acting stranger than usual. What ails you?
Whoa!
Good God. Is this a gauntlet runner? The very craft commissioned for His Highness the Prince? Even knowing His Highness was gone, still you toiled away. Oh, Nioras, you are an inspiration. Such nobility of purpose.
Yes. Right.
However, for a craft meant for the royal family, it is rather excessive, isn't it? Did you really build this vehicle exactly to their orders? You cannot mean...
Well, at first, certainly. I followed the blueprints exactly. But then His Highness died, and... well, I couldn't just let the old girl waste away. A masterpiece like her? Collecting dust in storage? No! Unacceptable! Unthinkable! I'm working toward a dream. And this poor old girl is going to help me see it through. And then, finally...
You imbecile! A lowly, brazen court engineer butchering His Highness's inheritance for a hobby! For this mania! You embezzled the royal treasury and disrespected his legacy! Treason!
Mercy, please! Look, take my head if you must, milady. But leave the value runner alone.
Look, this runner... it is fully operational now, is it? Then I suggest you cooperate. For both our sakes. Finish your tinkering by tomorrow and bring it to the Grand Cathedral as soon as you can.
Eh? What's all this now? You play the proud soldier at me and then pluck it for your own schemes?
'Tis no scheme. I would use it for His Highness's sake.
For His Highness, eh? Hold a tick. Haven't you been looking for him? Wandering across God knows where, last I heard. So if you're back now and now you want a gauntlet runner for His Highness... Is His Highness still alive? That's it! I've got you, haven't I?
'Twas His Highness who gave you refuge while you were only a heretical scholar condemned by the Sanctists. The time has come to repay his mercy.
Understood.
Is that enough? Can this old duck really handle an undercover operation?
I know what you're thinking, but 'tis at least true that he feels an undying debt of gratitude to the royal family.
Pish and tosh, boy. A little faith. Not to brag, but this old duck's craft might be the fastest gauntlet runner in the kingdom. Why, probably the world.
I think. Maybe.
How encouraging.
All I want is to push this runner as far and as fast as she can go. Show her off to the world. And you? Well, I presume you'd rather work together than have to walk, eh?
I don't know about this, but I guess we'll just have to trust him. What do you think?
Better than no support at all, isn't it?
Besides, lad, you'll not find a faster machine than this.
Either way, he knows the prince is alive, so we can't just leave him to his own devices. We're all in the same boat. Or runner, I guess.
You lot can handle the fighting, and I'll handle all the driving and grease work. Just make sure you've got a proper plan for all this mess now.
This guy's got no filter. But he has a point. We do need to talk strategy.
So, summing up. Our first trial is to slay a monster. We take its head as proof, then get it to the goal line before the deadline. The bigger the head, the better. Our destination is Port Brilhaven, the capital of the Western Principality of Oceania. It'd be a trek on foot, but this gauntlet runner should make it a snap.
So getting the bounty's head is our next move. And our target is a nefarious criminal who's been kidnapping and selling off children. Right?
A criminal? Did the task not specify a monster's head?
Don't worry, all part of the plan. We don't need to win this thing. We just need to get Luis's attention. Everyone's going to show up with monster heads, and we shake things up with a felon. A knight-turned-kidnapper at that. Shows them we're there for justice.
But to deliberately violate the rules, we risk being disqualified entirely. Then again, 'tis just as likely to win the people's attention and thereby Luis's. I do understand the intent. What do you think of this plan?
I trust all of you completely.
Good enough for me. A captain's got to trust his crew, after all. The bounty's Heisme, an ex-knight. I realize that's a little close to home, Hulkenberg, so if you'd rather hang back...
No. His title is precisely why I cannot let his atrocities stand. And yet, 'tis strange indeed that we are hunting a mere man when the trial demands a monster. Then again, our true aim is beyond the ambitions of any other aspirant. Our fate rests in this plan of yours, Stroll.
Thank you. I'll try to ensure your trust isn't misplaced.
Righto. Then our course is set. Feel free to use anything in the gauntlet runner. Even got a bathing room if you could use a wash.
Good to know. We can always look around more thoroughly later.
Yes. You needn't tire yourself out before we arrive.
Well, I'm a tinkerer and not much else. All my fighting happens in the old workshop. But I'll take you wherever you're going for your sake and mine. After all, the wilds out there are no berry picnic. Oh, no. It's a den of wild beasts and savage scoundrels. And we'll not get past it without days on the road together. So, if you need anything besides a steady hand on the wheel, give me a hoot. Bound to find me in the cockpit or the engine room.
He's certainly an eccentric, but he doesn't seem like a bad person. We'll get used to him, I suppose. Oh, yeah?
All right then. What's this?
This?
Hello? Spectacular.
This? Understood.
Now then. Nonetheless. Huh? Gauntlet Runner arrives at the desert camp as the scorching sun sinks below the horizon, and the curtain of night falls over the land. Protected within the stalwart hull of the Gauntlet Runner, the party gains a short, peaceful respite.
Well met.
All right.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Good morning.
True.
I knew it! Let's check.
Got it. And then... Got it?
Say, we could stop for a break.
Coming now into view is the Tree of Prophecy, a resplendent tapestry of color against the backdrop of the bleak desert. One theory is that the tree's roots gorge on the land's magma, and still another is that it gorges on those enraptured by its colorful foliage, as though themselves snared by the bewitching magma surrounding the tree. The Gauntlet Runner comes to a stop at its base.
Wow.
That's...
Certainly.
Hey.
But...
Hey there!
Huh?
Huh?
However,
all right.
The Gauntlet Runner arrives in a quiet clearing, concealed by boulders, as darkness reclaims the wilderness for itself. Monsters run rampant in the wilds. To sleep here would be perilous, unless from within the safety of a Gauntlet Runner. The party, secure in their Gauntlet Runner, spends the night in peace, hidden from hungry gazes.
Hey. Now then. Speaking of...
What's that about?
Oh, I see, I see. Then...
All right.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Finally! We're out of the missed all this green!
Ugh. Why is it so bumpy?
That'd be the change in terrain, lad.
See, you got to let the suspensions get used to hard ground instead of soft sand.
Must be nice to fly everywhere. What the? Did we just crash?
Of course not. That's
a cannonade.
My star is rising! Ah!
Sanctism will reign!
It's them. Remember, from the opening ceremony. I think one of them is Guido, Forden's confidant, and the other is Luis's man, Gladel.
Prominent candidates. Shouldn't the king's magic petrify them for their aggression?
No, see where they're aiming. They're not shooting to kill, just to take out the opposing runner's legs.
stuck out in the wilds with no working runner. Whether they survive or not, they're dashed well out of the race.
So 'tis a clash to halt each other's advance. Damned fools couldn't resist a show of force.
Look! Over by the legs. That crier is there too.
I see. Acting as witness to the higher candidate's conflict. It seems Gladel cannot match Guido's firepower.
What's our plan? If we just hang back and watch, Guido's gonna win. And Forden gets a leg up on the competition.
Let's give Gladel a hand here.
Good thinking. That way we could win Luis's regards.
Agreed. Let us ride to Gladel's aid.
I say, hold on! You realize you're a no-name candidate, eh? If he wants to shut you out, he'll not have to aim for just our legs.
It's a runner, isn't it? If things get too dicey, we'll just run. Didn't you say we had the fastest craft around?
Fine. Suppose there's no room for caution if we want the world's eyes on us.
Okay then, it's settled. Let's make sure he owes us big.
There should be an external runner phone out there.
We're here to help! Withdraw, Gladel! Who goes there? Why do you stand for Luis's forces? Well, sorry, can't get into it now. That Cortland, you're that commoner candidate who destroyed the Grand Cathedral! Was that not enough? You would profane the sacred a second time!
So be it. In God's name, be thou punished. You dare interfere in my fight! Know your place! Is it fame you seek? You thought by confronting me, you might lift your own names? Then you chose the wrong opponent.
I hate to interrupt, Oleg, but it's a touch more complex than that.
We of the Crown Theocracy's monk army have silenced all who would oppose the eminence of God. Your petty ruses are beneath me. Now you shall know how powerless you truly are.
Remember, the king's magic means we cannot move to strike Guido himself.
Go for his followers first. We'll thin their numbers and turn the tide.
Go, my brethren! Put the fear of God into these impious commoners!
Don't forget about the petrification magic!
Warrior!
I'll crush you!
Let's stay calm. Let's go! Freeze!
Know your
Let
place.
justice prevail!
Peasants!
Shine!
Let's go!
Is that all?
What could you hope to achieve?
He knows we can't attack him.
No holding back!
He's toying with us.
Take that!
Die hard! It's too early to go to his side.
Take this!
This can't be.
Oh, healing.
Close your eyes.
Cling to life.
Take this! Oh, please! What could you hope to achieve?
To him. I'll show you the essence of truth.
The lightning! Observe the enemy. Come! I will not let you die.
Thanks.
Helpful as ever.
More resilient than I expected. I would lose nothing by conceding this fight. But the faithful are watching. For the sake of my dear brethren, I must hold nothing back. Now, feel the righteous truth of sanctism engraved upon your flesh.
Does this mean he's getting serious?
Rise, my brother.
Hang in there!
Take this!
Here they come.
Are you prepared? I'll crush you! Behold!
Let's work together!
Power!
Maybe there's a better choice. Let's go! Scour!
Know your
Comrades, lend me your strength.
peasants!
Heal up! Are you all right?
That helped.
My thanks.
Sanctism is supreme! Take this!
What?
Sanctism will reign! Delay the inevitable!
Brace yourself! In motion.
Take that!
I'll show you the essence of truth. I'm all prepared. Mage! Bird!
Behold my power!
For all that we strive for!
Thanks.
Helpful as ever.
Resistance is futile! Sanctism will reign! Tenacious! I shall vanquish evil! Damn, come yet!
They've sapped your defenses!
Come forth, royal soul! Fire!
So, the faithful are broken before you, yet your desperate struggling is for naught. You cannot defy the inevitable. I am immune to all your wicked harms.
Oh, he gets to do whatever he wants, and we can't even get near him!
Bend the knee and yield to the divine truth of sanctism. Now, are you prepared for the end?
I think not, you rotter!
What have you done to my gauntlet runner?
We've nothing to lose. At the very least, I can thrash your old clunker until it's inoperable.
This is a waste of my time. So be it. You'll face your divine punishment soon enough.
Phew. Finally, he took the hint.
Hey! Get down here! What are you playing at? You think I owe you now or something? I would have been fine without your meddling.
I just wanted to help you.
A likely story? Out with it. What's your motive?
Why, Gladell, surely you can spare some manners for a crew that saved our lives? Honestly, that got a bit ugly for my liking.
Well, well, well. Do my eyes deceive me? Juna the songstress in the flesh. What brings you all the way out here? A little tryst on the road, is it?
Nothing so saucy. I'm afraid this cad's just my chauffeur. Now please, darling, a little privacy, or I'll have to charge for an interview.
Fair enough, miss. Fair enough. Nothing you're not used to. But consider me chastened and shoed. Besides, I might have found another angle here that's just as promising.
You surprised me out there, love. You bested Godot. So you're not just a pretty face. You were more help than my useless driver, at least.
Look here. However talented and famed a songstress she may be, you must remember to contain yourselves.
Songstress? Wait, is she the same Nydia lady who sang at the opening ceremony?
Aye, but that's... oh, blast it all, I can't take it anymore. I'd know the suspensions anywhere. You had Caden workshop on this, eh? Yes, those are quality parts and no mistake. Luis really shells out for his own.
By the crown, you can't be serious! She is Juno! The kingdom's greatest singer! The dulcet diva! Oh, this is preposterous! Surely I can't be the only one starstruck? Really? No one else wants to shake her hand? Well, then on behalf of this group, I suppose it falls to me.
You're an interesting little ensemble. Wait, is that a fairy? A real living one? Where did you...
Hey, up there!
An airborne gauntlet runner. He's actually finished it.
Luis.
My lord, Luis. How kind to provide a personal escort.
So that's it. I thought it was strange that a candidate like Gladel got stuck playing someone's driver.
But she was still the Sanctist's pick for the opening ceremonies? Guess even Forden's camp has to bend to popular opinion.
My humblest apologies, my Lord Luis, for this travesty, especially when you had graced me with the privilege of bearing the lovely Lady Juna.
Glad to see Lady June is safe, at least.
I could have crushed that churchman like a bug. And I would have if these insolent fools hadn't.
I'm sure. Sorry, don't much care.
It would seem you had to clean up my associate's mess. I'd like to express my gratitude, but if I might ask, who are you?
I'm just another candidate.
Indeed. Then we are both striving for the throne. One would think you commoners, but for the Lady Knight at your side. And you have a gauntlet runner. Most curious. What made you decide to enter the competition?
Looks like he's more interested than we anticipated. This might be our chance, so choose your words wisely, okay?
The more you hesitate, the more suspicious you'll...
I want to help you, Count Luis.
Oh? You fight in my name, do you?
Really now? So, you thought you'd step in for a little self-promotion?
We want to help anyone in need. That's what we believe in.
Anyone? Most interesting. However, my immediate needs are met in terms of sword hands.
Oh, come now. Don't they have a certain charisma to them? Why? I dare say I saw them use magic without igniters.
Please, I know we can help you. We want nothing more than to see your vision realized, Lord Luis.
You do know what that vision is built on, don't you? If you would claim yourself my ally, then prove your power before all the kingdom's eyes. You can't change the world without power, after all. If you can manage that, I'll consider your proposal.
See you, loves.
Don't think this changes anything. Come on, Hector!
just like a damn bird.
Right then. That could have gone worse. We were lucky we managed to connect with Luis this early.
No thanks to that Glodell. Even should we be accepted, he'll be no ally of ours.
Well, at the very least, Luis knows our faces. All we have to do now is avoid screwing it up.
He wants to see our power, does he? Then let's find Heisme, bring him to justice, and show the nation we're a force to be reckoned with.
As the chirping birds return to their nests and the darkness claims its dominion, the Gauntlet Runner at last arrives at its repose, a place grown thick with trees. Are the sounds from between the trees just the leaves being caressed by the wind? Or are they the whispers of the beguiling beings of the dark? The party never has to find out, for they are safe within the Gauntlet Runner.
Oh, damn it, blast!
Did you hear that?
It's over. The end of the road. So ends the life of the genius engineer.
Let's say we go check on him. Hey! Nurse, you okay?
Oh, you two. Terribly sorry. It's nothing, really.
Is there something troubling you?
Well, I suppose you could say that. It's just the runner, you see? She's in top shape, but I wanted to make her peerless. An absolute beauty, you know, top of her class. Something that would make even old Luis's runner look like a bally apple cart. I'd not be floundering so much if I just had a bit of spark.
A spark?
Yes, my girl. A spark of inspiration. A moment of epiphany, like when I saw the Lost Relic.
Lost Relic? Doesn't ring a bell.
Ah, yes, context. They say that long, long ago, there was a civilization so highly advanced it was beyond all modern understanding. Automation ruled the day. People lived surrounded by machinery with no need to work. Legend has it that they lived lives of convenience and comfort, but somehow that civilization just up and disappeared. God only knows what happened to them.
Sounds kind of far-fetched already.
Hear me out, would you? The point is, once in a stretch, you hear about someone unearthing relics from those days of yore. Absolutely inscrutable to the layman, don't you know? But those in the know would recognize such a prize at a single glance.
Have you ever seen one of these yourself?
Oh, yes. When I was but a young sproglet, there was this loony old inventor in my neighborhood, both quite brilliant and quite daffy, as they often are. That old fellow only showed me his find once, but even seeing it lit a fire in me, like being struck by lightning. After that, it was like a boiling pot. Ideas, ideas, ideas rising to the surface. And my tinkering always came out marvelous. Some proper court engineer-worthy genius. Something about it utterly captured my imagination. The Lost Relic, I mean.
Wow. You could try getting him to show you again.
If only I could. That old fellow went back to his own hometown. That single solitary glimpse of the past was all I had. The old goat. He told me he'd leave me the relic in his will.
Okay, so where's this guy's hometown?
Oh, some tiny hamlet somewhere on the outskirts of Martira. A village by the name of Kumiro or some such.
This one's important.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Oh.
Isn't that...
Departing the capital and barreling southward, the party's gauntlet runner at last arrives in the old castle town, Artira, where their client Barden awaits. The towering castle's stark walls stare down coldly upon its visitors. The only question now is whether or not this gambit was the right move.
Tis far more desolate a place than I'd heard.
Not many people out. It's like everyone's afraid of something.
Ah, you're here! I've been hoping you'd show up soon.
I know it's been a while, but we pledged to help you. We'll not go back on our word.
Glad to hear it. I'm sure Lady Joanna will also be pleased. Oh, your pardon. Lady Joanna rules this city. She's also a most holy sanctuaress of the Sanctus Church. She lives there, in Kriganti Castle.
I take it the locals are hoping for His Eminence Forden to win the tournament?
Aye, naturally. No sane and righteous man would want Luis on the throne. Speaking of, I heard there was a scuffle on the road between two candidates' gauntlet runners. The criers say Forden's ally suffered the worst of it.
Ah, well, that's Luis's camp for you. I assume it was them, I mean. Some nasty characters at his heel, eh?
Luis is nothing but a tyrant.
Yes. Such atrocities in his name. Unforgivable.
Captain, are you sure we can trust these strangers? These bounty boarders are always in it just for the money.
Looks like his officer's not on our side just yet.
Dinna be rude, Morris. They've come a long way for our sakes. Now, I'm sure you must be knackered from the journey. Let me show you to an inn. You can try our local speciality, perhaps.
Ah, you've a local delicacy. It would be a welcome treat.
You chaps go on. The old girl needs a bit of maintenance after carrying us so far.
Can't that wait until you've eaten?
Too much at stake, lad. Go on, don't worry, and I'll sort her out. Might well fix the bally waterworks while I'm at it.
Come, everyone. This way.
Is this some kind of smoked dish?
Roasted larvae of the giant sandworm. It's Martira's culinary speciality. Cooked to a delicate finish, just enough to preserve all the natural juices and flavors of the innards.
Oh good. Larval innards.
Tis a unique texture, to be sure, but the taste is divine. Exquisite.
You're completely serious, aren't you?
Something the matter? Do try some of your own before it gets cold.
Looks great.
What is with that smile? Not you two.
You fairly eat with gusto, young man. Passion worthy of a royal candidate. How was it? Sometimes the insides can twitch a bit, but it's harmless, I assure you.
Would that I had time to try more of your dishes, but... to business. Can you fill us in on the details of all these kidnappings?
Aye. Our wee ones have been going missing for at least 6 months. All told, We're looking at 15 children now, unaccounted for.
And you think this Heismay is your culprit?
I'm told he's a disgraced knight with nowhere else to turn. We've no proof, but the pieces fit. Seems to me that with nothing else to lose, he's gone rogue.
For a man who claimed a knight's honor to stoop to such horrors. 'Tis unacceptable. We must end this quickly, for our sake and his own.
If I recall the brief, it'll be quite a feat to even get near this Heismay. His hideout was in the midst of the Sandworm's territory, yes?
Aye, well remembered. He certainly isn't gonna make this easy for us.
So... is Heismay's hideout way out here? Looks pretty far from Martira. Let's see here.
It's a campground. There's a runner.
Here's where we are now.
Now that you mention it, I have to wonder how he can even survive out there.
We've been chasing any lead we have, but we can't figure it all out. We're in over our heads.
Let's work together to save this town.
We're awful grateful to have you. And don't worry, we'll pay you what you're due. After all, nobody else in the royal capital would give it a second glance.
We help anyone in need. That's why we've come this far.
Inspiring words, young man. Now, I hope you're not full yet. We've a whole spread of other dishes for you. Now this is the pride of the town. A fine sweetmeat made from the juvenile sandworm's entrails. You'll find this tastes as sweet as any dessert. Together, I'm sure we can find a way to the stronghold without falling prey to those words. Now, please, dig in.
Tis altogether different from the roast. Why, 'tis succulent as a mellow fruit. Another marvel.
You must have gotten used to eating anything you had to out in the wilds, eh?
I'll schedule a meeting with the Honorable Lady Joanna tomorrow. Please, rest your weary heads for today.
If they aren't here to con a free meal out of us, that is.
Now, let's go.
It's been a while.
Exactly!